So last night, I was talking with my son, and he's been meditating almost as long as I have, since he was a teenager, and lived with a teacher in a Zendo for many, many years and ran the retreats and things when he wasn't there, and was in the San Francisco Zen Center, lived there, and he's had a very strong practice for many, many years. But the problem is he's extremely smart. And as people are smart, you're rewarded in this society for being smart. And he has been, he's pretty much been able to do whatever he wanted to do because he's smart. And he's also like a phenomenal athlete, a phenomenal natural athlete. Just since he was a kid, for whatever reason, he could watch a professional, baseball player, and then he could pitch almost like a professional baseball player as a little kid. Did the same with tennis and everything. He'd just watch the best players and he'd absorb what they were doing from watching them on television to be able to do it himself right away. It was extraordinary. So he was just this incredibly gifted athlete too, and he was rewarded for that in society. He was, the pitcher and the all-stars in Little League and everything, and everybody knew him in the whole city. People would come to watch him play. So that was all good in society, but when it comes to his meditation practice, he's very attached to his mind and his body, very attached because it has been so successful with it. And that creates a problem because he's never gotten beyond that. And he was telling me, he said, in all these years, my meditation practice is my body and my thoughts. That's it. I'm very aware of my body. And he is. He's extremely aware of his body. His body consciousness is off the charts for most people. I mean, he's so aware of every little thing. And his thoughts. And with all the practice and all the years that he's been meditating, he's never got beyond that, right? And I thought, that's not such an unusual problem for a lot of people. Maybe not people who've put as much effort as he has into it, as much time, but certainly beginning meditation and that, it's likely of that. So I gave him this practice, which I used to give to people, and it reminded me how useful it is. I think it's a very, very useful practice. It's a form of self-inquiry. And it's simply, and I saw it working with him right away. This is 40 years of meditation practice, and nothing has worked. And this started working. I could feel it was working in him. It's the aware of awareness practice. And aware of awareness simply means that we know, the mind knows that it's aware of something, a thought, or the body, something, right? I mean, you can do this now. You're listening to my voice, and you're aware that you're listening to my voice. You're aware that there is a voice, and it's saying something, and you're aware of that, right? Of course you are, right? The mind can't deny that. Yes, you're aware of it. What's aware? Are the ears aware? Is the body aware? Are thoughts aware? Can a thought be aware of itself? No, of course not. A thought is a thought. It can't be aware of itself. It has no awareness. It's just a thought. Is the body aware of itself? No, it's not aware of itself. It's a body. But something is aware of the body, and something is aware of thoughts. Something is aware of sound. Something is aware of this voice. In fact, without that awareness, we wouldn't be aware of anything. There'd be nothing. So awareness is very important to us. We wouldn't be aware of any of this without awareness. So the inquiry is then, what's awareness? If it's not the mind, not thoughts, not the brain, not the body, not feelings, not sensations, then what is it? And all we need is curiosity. And we have that. We all are curious. So we want to know, what is awareness? And the beautiful thing about this form of self-inquiry is that we know that anything that we're aware of is an object of awareness, but not the subject. And we want the subject. So everything we're aware of, as we do this practice, we have to go in. Where are we going to find awareness? Out there, in a tree, up in the sky? Of course not. It has to be in us. Not in our brain or our body, but in us. So we're looking deeply in, beyond thoughts, beyond, we have to look beyond thought to find awareness. We have to let go of thought to say, okay, it's not thought, then what? Because thoughts for most of us is pretty deep. That's about as deep as we go. We don't go beyond thought. But we have to go beyond thought to find awareness, because it is beyond thought. It's before thought. We can be aware without thought. We just don't have anything to say about it because there's no thoughts. But we're still aware. So this awareness is very, very important. So it's worth being curious about it. It's worth trying to discover it. And as we go deeper in, we find many things, the sense of freedom, some bliss, peace, all these things we've been looking for. As we're going deeper in, we find these things because they're in us. And then as we do that, we can say, oh, that's awareness. Yeah, this bliss, that's awareness. Yeah, I got it. And then we simply have to say, are you aware of it? And the answer is yes. Then that can't be it. So this is a backward step, deeper and deeper in, because everything we're aware of cannot be what awareness is. Awareness is the subject, not the object. And in fact, we cannot be aware of awareness the way we are of everything else. You know, Mooji used to say, a knife can cut many things, but it cannot cut itself. Right? How can a knife cut itself? It can't do that. It's a good example. Awareness cannot be aware of itself because awareness is not an object of awareness. It's the subject. So the experience of awareness is the experience of pure being. The being of awareness. That's it. We are awareness. And that experience of being awareness. It's not an object. We're not holding it out. We're just being it because we are it. So if you do this self-inquiry, it's a wonderful meditation. And this is not something my son had ever done. He hadn't done self-inquiry. He'd done all kinds of other practice, shikantaza and everything else for 40 years. But I could feel that this was doing something. And I promised him one thing. I said, if you do this practice and you experience this beyond thought, beyond a body, awareness, you will have this experience that your body can be in chronic pain, and he does have some pain in his body. And you'll realize that you are not in pain, that you are not affected by that pain at all, even though your body is. And he thought that would be wonderful. And I can guarantee that that's true because that's my experience. Awareness is not the body. Whatever happens to the body is not happening to awareness. Awareness is just aware of it. It's aware of everything. Everything. Far more than this body is aware of. It's literally aware of everything. But through the body, we funnel it down to like, okay, this is what awareness is aware of through the body. This is what awareness is aware of through the ears. Through our thoughts, this is what awareness is aware of, rather than expanding it out. But when we drop back into awareness, we start realizing that it's aware of everything. Far more than this body, it's aware of all bodies and the experience of all bodies, and far beyond that. It's aware of universes and galaxies. There's nothing it's not aware of. It's aware of what it's like before form exists, before energy. There's nothing awareness doesn't know. But we discover this for ourselves, not because I'm telling you this. By simply having that question, well, what is awareness then? And not settling for whatever our thoughts say. You know, our thoughts will come up, but we have the answer. Are you aware of it? And of course the answer is yes. And you say, well, that's not it then. Keep opening. And pretty soon you see that your mind can't help you with this, and you don't need it at this point. You're opening to something more than that, deeper than that, more wonderful than the mind can even imagine. So this is a wonderful practice, and it goes beyond knowledge, thoughts. Any question you can ask me. The answer is very simple. Are you aware of that question? And the answer is yes. Then that's not awareness. So no one can give you this. I can't give you awareness. Like, here you go. Here's some awareness. Here's your awareness. No one can do that. No one can do that. Amma can't do that. Nobody can do that. But you are awareness, so you can keep going back and shedding, letting go of all the answers that your mind gives you. Everything that your body says, like, this pain is important. You got to pay attention to that. This is very important. Forget about awareness. I want to focus on that. Okay, that's your choice. But if you want to know what awareness is, you're going to have to ask, am I aware of that pain? And the answer is yes. But what is it that's aware? So if we keep on that track, and that's a mental track right there, but it can help us because we're constantly saying, I want to know. I want to know. I want to know what awareness is. I want to experience what awareness is. I'm very curious and I really want to know what can help me. Should I do a Google search on awareness? Yeah, let's try that. Are you aware of the answer that Google gives you? Yes. Well, that's not awareness then. Whatever Google says, are you aware of that? Yes. Well, that's not awareness then. That's an object of awareness. What's the awareness? There isn't that. Google can't help you. Thoughts can't help you. The body can't help you. Nothing in this world can help you. But awareness is here. Because without it, you wouldn't be aware of anything. It's necessary for everything. It's fundamental for all our experiences in this world. And when we go back to this, to awareness, just through curiosity, what is it? And we see that the beautiful thing, that everything we're aware of is an object of awareness and not awareness, then we can see that I'm aware of the body, so that's not it. I'm aware of my energy. Oh, I guess that's not it. I'm aware of my thoughts about awareness, my thoughts about what it could be. But since I'm aware of them, that can't be it either. So right there, we have to take that jump. We have to take that step to just keep moving, keep going, and leave thoughts alone. They can't help us. So for a moment, just leave them alone and see, then what is it? Keep the curiosity. Then what is it? And everything that comes up, and lots of things do, don't they? Lots of things come up. The more we open up, the more things are there, the more we're aware of all these different things. So lots of things come up. But all of those are objects of awareness, all of them. And we want to know what awareness is. So we experience these things with joy, with fear, with however we're reacting to them. But that's not awareness. And once we experience awareness, we realize awareness doesn't have reactions to any of these things. Those reactions are karmic. Those are mostly our thoughts, our conditioning, body. Because awareness is not really affected by anything that happens, so it's not afraid of anything. It doesn't resist anything. It doesn't attach to anything. It just allows it to come. You know, like a beautiful blue sky. Clouds can come. Yeah, fine. Lightning storms can come. Okay. How's that affecting the sky? Not at all. Beautiful clouds, ugly clouds, dark clouds, light clouds. They're just coming and going. And the sky remains as it is. And awareness is like that. But vastly bigger. You know, vastly bigger. I love looking at the sky. Just lying on my back and looking at the sky like I did as a little kid. Because it sort of tells you all that. I mean, if you're looking straight up at the sky, it can look infinite. You can't see any horizon or anything. It just seems to go on forever. And everything that comes in it, clouds, birds, a plane, it all comes and goes and doesn't seem to have any effect on the sky itself. Awareness is like that, just infinitely more. It really is infinite. So the transmission comes from simply dropping back to that. That's all. Just dropping back to that. Letting go of all the things that are, all the clouds. Beautiful, ugly, neutral, good or bad. It doesn't make any difference. They're all just clouds. And we want to know what awareness is.